First of a potential 3 5-minute rounds. Dark trunks for Christos Giagos, white trunks for the Brazilian Gilbert Burns. A lot of movement early.
Techniques come easy to him. Puts together combinations fluently. Has very nice high kicks at the end of his combinations as well. And Giagos keeps that left hand a little low, but
and it gets the big takedown.
Gorgeous double leg takedown. Giagos intelligently trying to scoot right to the cage and get back up.
He's over the legs, Brian. He's got the mount.
Very nice work there from Gilbert Burns.
Now he's gonna lock it in here. Nope.
Giagos doing a nice job trying to push on the hips of Burns and at least shrink to get the half guard. Does not want to allow Burns to get this position established. If Burns can get his knees higher into the armpits of Giagos, Giagos in a lot of trouble. Nice job there from Giagos getting a butterfly guard.
But there's the mount again for Burns.
He tried, he was about to get up, but he was going to give up his back. Smartly went back to his back, and Burns then mounts him though.
Looking to lock one in. Burns rolling.
Oh, and he's got the body lock as well.
Giagos up with Burns on his back.
And Burns is already, he's using his strikes to advance his position here, whether it's small shots to the body, the head, using those strikes intelligently, not just doing jiu-jitsu, which sometimes you see guys who go from jiu-jitsu backgrounds into MMA, they have a hard time integrating those strikes. But Gilbert Burns, trained at Black Zillions, is doing a really nice job.
Great job staying on the back.
Giagos has got to try and get to his left shoulder blade on the mat. Fight and get wrist control here from Gilbert Burns.
Don't grab the glove.
30 seconds on the clock here in round one.
Burns may be trying to set up a head and arm choke here if he lets loose his body lock and come to the mount.
Giagos just trying to survive.
Burns gonna try and do it, but Giagos intelligently gets his arm away, and Burns transitions to an armbar here. He's only got 13 seconds.
Can he finish it right here?
Oh, that is gorgeous.
It is all over! Gilbert Burns by submission. How good is that? Another first round finish.
Absolutely perfect technique from Gilbert Burns. That's why you see that man in so many guys' corners from Black Zillion's team. He just had an answer for everything Giagos did on the mat tonight. Position to position, and 13 seconds left secures that armbar.
Half the fights on the card tonight at 155 pounds, including this one. Alex Cowboy Oliveira and Gilbert Burns, both fighters in the black trunks. Cowboy Oliveira with shades of red.
Alex Oliveira, the only guy who could pull off the nickname Cowboy in the 155-pound division, a former professional.
Burns trying to soften him up with the strike there. Looking at the corner for advice.
Let's see if Burns transitions to try to take the back here. Oliveira trying to sit back and pull that right arm. He's trying to sit back and pull that right arm out. Burns is sticking with it. Oliveira is also controlling that right leg of Burns. Burns wants to take it and bring it backwards. Look at this. Excellent exchanges here. Nice attempts at escapes here from Oliveira.
Oliveira doing the right things defensively. Under 2 minutes now to go in the fight. Burns remaining committed to the submission attempt.
I think he's going to give it up and try to mount here, but Oliveira's got the left shoulder of Burns wrapped up as well. Burns senses that, now trying to roll back into position. He's trying to sit back. He wants to try to get that right leg back, and he's doing it now. The pressure's going to start to form on that shoulder, big time. He's not going to be able to finish it. Right back in the mouth goes Burns. What heart and what escape from Oliveira.
So 3+ minutes now in this third round they have spent on the mat. Gilbert Burns staying heavy here.
He's trying to go for a triangle here from mount. Oliveira needs to keep that right hand inside the guard of Burns. Now Burns might go for that belly down armbar. Oh, he's out. Burns trying to transition to a triangle now. He needs to sit up. He needs to sit up from here and tighten up those legs. He's let go of the triangle. Let's see if he switches to the belly down armbar. Now going for the armbar. He's going to finish this.
And
He's got it.
Gilbert Burns, still undefeated. He rallies and becomes the first man to finish Alex Oliveira.
He needed that, John. I mean, he was flat tonight, let's be honest, but what a finish and what heart from Gilbert Burns to get it done. Oliveira was escaping submission after submission, really, on that omoplata. Gilbert Burns shows why he's world class on the mat. It was a similar setup to the armbar we saw Ronda Rousey hit in her last fight. Gilbert Burns had to transition, had to switch to the triangle, went belly down for the armbar. He's still trying to go for the triangle here.
Matthews looking for a third straight win. He'll take on the 23-year-old Motown phenom Kevin Lee. That is the featured bout of the UFC Fight Pass prelims tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on UFC Fight Pass. All right, underway here. Gilbert Durinho Burns is in black. Lucas Sajewski is in white. Translation, Durinho to Little Tough One. Burns 10-1 coming in here tonight. Sajewski 13-1.
Now, traditionally, Sajewski likes to wrestle and grapple in his fights. Obviously here, that's not what he wants to do with Burns. He has used that year well, and you know, after a year layoff, after your debut, it's almost like debuting again, but he looks much more comfortable here tonight.
Sajewski doesn't mind the clinch at all. Under 2 minutes to go round one.
And he's very strong there when you look at his past fights outside of the UFC. Spends a lot of time there in the clinch, likes body locks, taking guys down. Here he's going to use it to keep standing, and you know, now he's just buying himself some time. He was rocked badly, legs wobbling underneath him. You know, you don't recover from that in just 30 seconds. Good work there from Burns. Reverse, and now he's going to look to come under. And good job by Sajewski to separate from the clinch.
Oh, big knee from Burns. Follows up with a right hand. Sajewski's wobble.
Outstanding combination there from Burns. An excellent takedown from Gilbert Burns there. We'll see if he's able to pass quickly. We've seen him pull off submissions quickly before his fight against Alex Oliveira. Took him down late in the third round, immediately got the submission. Now he's got one hook in. And if anything, a great way to end the round for Gilbert Burns to influence the judges.
Going to be a long 30 seconds here for Lucas Sajewski.
And you know what? He's being pretty smart. He's not trying to do too much and give any openings here. 22 seconds and counting.
Sajewski getting that left hand up to prevent Burns from getting his arm underneath that chin.
And now Burns is going to go to the armbar for 10 seconds. He's going to stretch it out. Oh,
there's the attack. Gilbert Burns with another armbar. Wow. Man, all it takes, one little opening, and the world-class jiu-jitsu champion with another armbar finish in the UFC is third.
What a fight. Both guys outstanding, but man, Gilbert Burns just needs one little opening. Absolutely incredible. And it was
the FS1 UFC Fight Night prelims. Gilbert Durinho Burns left South Florida with his family the middle of last week. Drove here to Pittsburgh to make sure he could compete tonight against Jason Saggo. Saggo is in red. Gilbert Durinho Burns is in yellow. Saggo's been healthy since his last fight against Rustam Khabilov in December. Says he's just been waiting for a fight. He's worked a lot on his ground and pound and tightening that up a little bit. He feels like he can get a little swelling around the right eye for the Canadian Saggo. Burns loaded up on a right hand. Saggo able to evade. Two minutes now to go in round two.
Ooh, good right hand, left hook by Burns.
Just throwing strikes with so much more conviction than we saw earlier in his UFC career. And now a high ankle
This is what I was hoping to see. Now we're gonna see Saggo. Let's see if he uses his rubber guard. He usually does a great job stopping top control, utilizing the mission control, rubber guard, things of that sort. But right now, he's got an underhook. Let's see if he can get to his feet.
Burns unofficially 2 for 5 on his takedown attempts thus far.
We saw Saggo early use the fence to get to his feet, but right now, he's just kind of hanging out on his back. And there we go. Now he's trying to create some space, use that fence to get back up. Burns goes to take the back. He'll probably lose it on the fence here. And now, they're both even again, back to the feet.
Saggo continuing to switch up the footwork here as we go under a minute to go in round 2 of a possible 3. Don't forget, later tonight here on FS1, Luke Rockhold returns against David Branch in our main event. Nice counter left is good for Saggo.
You move. You just move better. That's it. Hands up, though. Hands up. You're in good shape, Jason. Yeah. That's it. You missed. Good, Jason. Good head movement.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, Jason. Hands up on that. Hands up on that.
Just take him down.
Watch the takedown, Jason. He wants another takedown.
Body kick is there for Jason Saggo again. Right hand lands for Gilbert Burns.
Oh, he puts him down, and that is it.
Durinho Burns. That is the finish he was looking for. And Henry Hoof doesn't smile a lot, but ear to ear, Gilbert Durinho Burns.
And he just been looking for that overhand right the entire fight. It finally connects. Gilbert Burns has been throwing with reckless abandonment the whole fight, believing in his power.
Gilbert Burns, este Dan Moret. Início de luta para você. Previsão, expectativa de 3 rounds de 5 minutos. Gilbert Burns, calção amarelo, detalhe das luvas na cor vermelha. Dan Moret, com calção preto, detalhe das luvas na cor azul.
As equipes de MMA do mundo em estrutura de tamanho, talvez de número de lutadores no UFC, seja a Black Zillions e a American Top Team. A American Top Team ainda é um pouco maior em número de lutadores. Deve ter, a ATT deve ter uns 40 atletas no UFC e em outros grandes eventos. E o Durinho também tem o Vicente Luque, né, o próprio Kamaru Usman treina com o Durinho. Então é um grande centro de excelência. E o Andy Ruff é um holandês que está aí gritando para ele nesse exato momento. É um cara de alto nível, campeão mundial de Muay Thai.
Aliás, a Holanda também tem uma base de luta em pé muito interessante, né? Na Europa. Solta bem a mão esquerda, o Durinho. Trabalha no kick. Oh! Entrou direto, vai com tudo pra cima. Balançou ali o Moret. Vem pra cima, entra a mão pesada de Durinho.
Uau.
Fim de papo, fim de luta. Nocautão de Gilbert Burns. A mão pesada de Gilbert Durinho. E mais uma vitória. A segunda seguida no UFC, Minotauro.
É, como eu falei, né? Um atleta do jiu-jitsu, mas pegou um nível de trocação. E não só o nível técnico,
elevado,
né? Ele tem mão pesada. Durinho tem que respeitar, ele tem mãos pesadíssimas.
Vamos ver de novo. Olha esse upper. Entrou o upper. Oh, esse cruza passou lotado.
Pegou mais um upper ali.
Pois é, o nosso queridíssimo ilustre Durinho. E aí o Beast Boy. O Mike Davis. Confronto pra você que se liga no UFC. Primeiro round de um total de 3. Vamos nessa. E aí, Demian?
É o Durinho que vem aí do jiu-jitsu, né? Teve uma carreira sólida no jiu-jitsu aí, foi campeão. Mas tem um poder de nocaute bastante forte. E o Mike Davis ali, que treina na American Top Team, já é um cara mais do striking, mas também faz aí o mix muito bem.
Mostra o cartão de visita ali o Durinho. Resposta aí do Mike Davis. Tenta passar ali a guarda, ó, passou, né? Passou a guarda do Mike Davis. Vai tentar ir pras costas de novo, ó.
E já tá ali nas costas de novo, tentando buscar o gancho. O Mike Davis saiu das costas e tá dando as costas de novo, né? Até por falta de recurso, talvez, de fazer guarda com o Durinho, porque o Durinho tem uma qualidade boa, muito boa de jiu-jitsu. Vamos ver agora se o Mike Davis vai conseguir fazer o que ele fez no primeiro round, de ficar em pé e virar de frente. Mas pelo jeito não, o Durinho já chegou de novo nas costas, botou os 2 ganchos, controle, já fechou o triângulo e... A mão tá no pescoço ali, ó.
O braço tá
no
laçado
pescoço.
ali no pescoço. Mais uma vez, ó, vai partir pro estrangulamento ali. Consegue defender ali o Mike Davis. E de mão aberta, ó. Tomando de mão aberta o Mike Davis. Que momento do Durinho na luta, hein? Vai sobrando aí nesse segundo round, ó. De novo, vai buscar o estrangulamento. Braço esquerdo já passado. Enquanto isso, o Mike Davis vai tentando estourar esse triângulo aí para tentar escapar daí, né? E o Durinho vai esperando, ó. Melhor momento. E vai batendo. Aí passou, agora sim. Encaixado ali. Não chegou, não pegou no pescoço, né? Baixou bem ali, defendeu ali o Mike Davis. E agora vai ter que levantar o pescoço, ó. Vai passar. Vamos ver se vai conseguir encaixar ali o mata-leão.
Mike Davis tá igual uma tartaruga ali com o pescoço encolhido, então Durinho tá com dificuldade de passar o mata-leão ali, o estrangulamento de uma forma eficiente.
Ele cola o queixo ali, né, no peito. Mas vai batendo bastante aí. E a qualquer momento esse estrangulamento. Trocou o braço, foi pro outro lado. Agora sim,
agora a mão entrou, hein? Agora a mão entrou embaixo do queixo, hein?
Vai bater o Mike Davis. Não tem mais jeito. Se não bater, vai apagar. Bateu! Durinho vence no mata-leão. Estrangulamento incrível no momento certo. Ótimo segundo round do Durinho. Quase que perfeito, né? Trocou em cima, botou pra baixo, passou guarda, foi pras costas. E aí esperou o momento. A todo momento se defendia ali o Mike Davis. E aí o Durinho, vamos rever, ó, pro Demian comentar um pouquinho melhor, que é o estilo dele, né? A técnica manja muito o Demian Maia. E aí, Demian? Olha lá, ó.
Olha lá, ele foi falar alguma coisa ali, ele levantou o queixo e...
Um abraço.
Na verdade...
And Gilbert Burns.
Preparado, Durinho.
Couple of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu aces. Both natives of Brazil. The fight clock is brought to you by the U.S. Army. The favorite is Gilbert Burns, the 33-year-old, at minus 180 in the green. Damian Maia plus 150 as the underdog in the gray.
Yeah, the reason Burns is the favorite, I mean, it's pretty obvious. The fight starts on the feet. If it hits the ground, I mean, I don't know who has the advantage there. Burns is very, very confident, as we said, but on the feet, you've got to lean towards Burns. And when you look at the two, he certainly has the thicker frame, looks to be the stronger man, but it's a striking differential that leans in the favor of Burns. So this is interesting stuff. This is always what Maia does. He'll back you up against the fence, make it look like he's going to strike, and then he shoots him for a single leg. I almost guarantee he's going to do it, but of course he won't, just to make me look stupid. That single leg is coming, I'm telling. There it is.
Hey, Michael. Down to the ground they go. Burns was not afraid of this.
Make some noise.
Burns said, make no mistake, we will grapple, and he looked forward to it.
Well, Burns is trying to get a knee bar here. And he's going to switch it to a heel hook. Damian's going to hold of the head here.
Burns back to his feet now. Each of these guys multiple-time World Jiu-Jitsu champions.
And when you just look at the body of work that Damian Maia has, I mean, it's incredible. I'm looking at his record right here, and some of the names on there: Ben Askren, Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal, Tyron Woodley, Gunnar Nelson, Anderson Silva. I mean, the list just goes on. There's too many to mention. It's an incredible career that this man has had, and to see him in here at 42 years old, still competing at this level, it's inspirational.
He was 40 years old when some thought maybe it's time to hang it up. He had a title fight against Tyron Woodley. Then he fought Colby Covington. Then he fought Kamaru Usman. All three of those guys have held the belt in some form at one point over the last couple of years. Maia still believes he belongs in that welterweight elite. He's trying to
I'll tell you what,
put that left arm under the chin.
If he gets that right hook in, or either hook, there's the first one. I mean, this is really interesting. Gilbert knows exactly what's going on. He probably knows Damian's next move. Looks like Damian's going to transition to the mount. Nicely done.
Wow, look at
comes out the
Burns.
back door. Very good.
Escapability there. from Burns, who now fires a 1-2. Oh, wow! Burns thought he had it won. Maia has recovered. Now Gilbert Burns hammers away. Gilbert Burns wanted a changing of the guard, and perhaps we just got it.
Wow. Here it is. Left hook, clean, on the chin, drops him. Damien is looking, he does have his faculties. And then here we got Donkey Kong going crazy, beating the drum. About 20 punches there. That was a nice left hook, right on the tip of the chin. Pushes the legs to one side, throws a right hand, and then from there, fast ground and pound. One more time, boom! Down he goes. Yeah, Damien's looking, he's not knocked out, to be fair.
Your thoughts on the stoppage?
You know, to be honest, it looked like Damien was still fighting, but it's not a good look when you get dropped that clean and then you...
Tá de olho nesse cara aí, ó. Cria. Tá pronto? Ready, go. Fight! Vamos nessa! Tudo liberado. Gilbert Burns de amarelo, de preto New Magny. A galera já começa cantando para passar aquela energia pro Durinho. Luta perigosa para ele, é um cara embaçado no Magny. 10 anos de UFC tem o Magny. Já lutou com todo mundo e mais um pouco. O norte-americano, fintando a perna de trás. Vai dar o bote, ó. Já cinturou, já derrubou. Aí tá em casa, né? Aí o Durinho está em casa.
É esse o facilidade, né? Até me espantou o tempo, lutando o tempo tão certo, né? O tempo correto, que a queda ficou fácil de ser executada. É esse o jogo para lutar com o New Magny. O Durinho tem uma qualidade bem maior na luta agarrada, então ele colocar a luta pro chão ali é, na minha opinião, a melhor estratégia.
Campeão mundial de jiu-jitsu, Durinho.
Ó, já vai montar, hein?
Ó. Mas é embaçado também o New Magny. Não vacila, vai tentando passar pro lado de lá. Vem pro lado de cá. Passou. Vai tentando estabilizar o Gilbert. Dá aquela embrulhada para presente ali para cima do New Magny, Carlão.
Já botou a mão no pescoço também, esperando se o New Magny virar para entrar numa guilhotina.
É, exatamente. Agora é hora de construir a posição com calma, né? Deixar o New Magny se desgastar. Gastar energia ali para que fique mais fácil dele progredir no jogo do solo.
2 minutos e 10. Vamos ver se o grauzinho que o Daniel deu na faixa azul do New Magny vai fazer diferença nessa luta contra o Durinho.
Eu não tenho grau nenhum.
Ele fez um seminário contigo?
Ele apareceu num seminário que eu dei em Las Vegas uma vez, pro UFC, inclusive.
Te pediu grau, não? Só que ele te pediu grau na faixa azul.
Não pediu nada.
Brincadeira. Menos de 2 minutos. Domínio do Gilbert no solo. Aquele ombrão pesado ali no queixo, olha só. Olha que delícia, ó. Quem já tomou um ombrão desse aí no gogó sabe do que eu tô falando. Ah, vem montar, vem montar. Defendeu. Agora sim. Agora sim. 1 minuto e 20. Uma eternidade para o norte-americano nessa posição.
Você vê que o Durinho tá jogando bem o jiu-jitsu mesmo, sem muita pancada, nada. Ele quer evoluir para uma finalização.
E adora sair no braço, o Durinho.
Já tá olhando ali, ó, entrando talvez uma americana ali.
Menos de 1 minuto. Agora a mão direita cantou. Katagatame, Katagatame, vem Durinho, Katagatame encaixado, vem pra finalizar, vem pra pegar, aperta, aperta, pegar, se não bater vai dormir, se não bater vai dormir, pegou! Gilbert Durinho Burns faz a festa no Rio de Janeiro, boa moleque, boa garoto! Botando a faixa... Olha, tá zoando o Tate ali. Botando a faixa preta de jiu-jitsu pra jogo. Vai pra galera!
E falou que ia usar o jiu-jitsu e usou o jiu-jitsu, hein? Veio pra lutar jiu-jitsu. Exatamente, usou muito bem o jiu-jitsu aplicado bem pro MMA, não deu espaço, né? Ele foi, dominou, entrou o tempo certo na queda, controlou, progrediu, ali quase perdeu, ele tentando montar, mas depois ele conseguiu se ajustar.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Fernando Portela has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 15 seconds of the first round. Declaring the winner by submission due to a head and arm choke, Gilbert Durinho!